Welcome back to another video. This is a Bradford City v Wimbledon match preview. We're going to say match reaction. We'll be giving you the latest results, the key players for them, the limited key players for them, and their stats so far this season, head to head, and my 11 that I'd choose for Saturday's game. Let me know your thoughts going ahead into the game on Saturday and your score predictions in the comments down below. So on to the results. They've had a poor start, really. I think that, well, I can tell you, 17th after 8, and after 9 games, and they've collected 8 points in those games. They haven't had a good start to the season. The last 6 games, they beat Crawley 3-2. I think that were in the Pizza Cup. Then they beat Carlisle 2-1. Northampton, they lost 2-0. Quite expected after Northampton's start. Him and Andy Cook and Sam Hoskins, have had a flying start to a season, and both of them are challenging Haaland and not all the other best strikers in the world for amount of goals to minutes. So that's quite an expected defeat. But then Stockport, they lost 1-0, beat Aston Villa 2-1 in the Pizza Cup, and lost 1-0 to Barrow. On to us, we've won 4 in a row. Can we make it 5? Hopefully. 3-0 win at home against Stevenage, 2-1 away win against Tranmere, 2-1 home win against Walsall, 3-1 home win against Sheffield Wednesday, 0-0 draw to Crewe, and a 2-1 defeat to Blackburn in the second round of the Carabao Cup. So we've started the season well. They've started the season poorly, but into the more detailed stats, it's only a few goals and average possession really. But both teams have played 9 games. They've scored 9 goals and conceded 13. And they've averaged a possession of 47.7%, and like I said, the 17th after 8 points, with 8 points after 9 games. And we've also played 9 games, no postponements, apart from that Mansfield game. 14 goals, 7 conceded. We've been much better defensively and much better going forward this season compared to previous. And we've averaged a possession of 58.4%. So I think you can gather what it's going to go like tomorrow's game. They'll probably sit back quite a bit and look to counter us with pacing behind, whereas we'll probably control a lot of the ball and struggle to break them down like we normally do. And then the referee will give a stupid decision away, considering it is Darren Drysdale, probably DFL's worst referee. So yeah, he'll make a bad decision, and then we'll probably get a 0-0 draw or 1-0 defeat. It'll probably go along the lines of that in previous seasons, but with our start and how we're playing at the minute, maybe it won't. 1.6 goals a game we've averaged, and we're 5th in the league with 17 points. On to their key players, didn't many. Obviously 17th, they're going to struggle. But a couple I've pinpointed out, and then 3 others who are well known around the EFL. Ayoub Assal, 20 years old, 4 goals and 4 assists I've put down by, I'm sure it was 2 goals and 2 assists. Nathan Young-Coombs, I'm sure he's on loan from Brentford, and he's got 3 goals and 2 assists so far. And then Chris Gunter, Alex Pearson, Lee Brown, former internationals there in Chris Gunter, former Millwall player in Alex Pearce. He might have played against City in that Millwall heartbreak for us in League One in that final with that offside goal. And then Lee Brown, formerly of Portsmouth for quite some time. I'm not sure if they're on good form and if they're actually key players, but you know, when you look at their team, then 3 players do pop out as standout players, and they do add quite a lot of experience, good or not. Past and presents, I can only really think of 2. So get in the comments down below and tell me if you know any more. Jay Creeves and Dominic Pollion of recent years. Don't think there's any in the team. It would be quite bad if I didn't pick that up. Onto the head-to-heads, it only says from 2011 onwards, because from when they went under, it don't give us that form. But I'm sure if I looked hard enough I probably could have found it. But obviously we'd beat them 3-0 in the Premier League. That pretty much kept us up, that win. Gave us a bit more momentum going into the last few games. And it took their momentum away from them. And John Hartson got sent off in that game for foul and abusive language to the referee. And they did help us out, the referee, because one of the penalty decisions as well wasn't a handball. but he gave us that as well, so I can sympathise, but at the same time, football's football, and it's a game of luck, and you've got to take your luck when you get it. But anyway, moving on to the last 6 games we've played against them, we've won 3, drawn 1 and lost 2. I'm sure Glenn Hodges has managed them as well. He might have even played for them, but we've won 3, drawn 1 and lost 2 in our last 6 games against them, and it only goes back to 2011. And in that time we have beaten them 5-1, I think, in 2011-12 or 12-13 season, one of them. My 11 for Saturday's game would be Lewis in goal, solid goalkeeper, looking good so far this season. I've said numerous times that he's championship standard, and I do believe that. Hendry in right back, obviously Halliday got suspended. It was a stupid red card, and I do believe that Hendry is a good player. As a backup, he's a solid League 2 backup. I think he'll come in and I think he'll do fine. Maybe he can keep his place in the team like Folds has. You've got to take your opportunities, and I feel like maybe he could. This could be Henry's chance to, get down a solid position in the team. Platt and Odesina in centre back. Platt's been brilliant this season. Odesina came in for Critchlow, brilliant debut. Hopefully he can continue it on. Even if Critchlow was available, I wouldn't play him. I do feel like Odesina took his chance, and Critchlow didn't have the best of his last 2 games was against Walsall and Tranmere. Folds has took his chance when Rydal's been injured. He's out for another week, but Folds deserves to keep his place in the team. He's better going forward than him, and I think he's better defensively than him as well. Gilead and Smallwood in midfield. I don't see a midfield without them 2 in it. Obviously when Gilead was injured for us, we missed him, and them 2 complement each other well, so I'll definitely keep them 2 in midfield. Banks to the right. I don't think he had the best of games on Saturday, last Saturday, but I think he's a bit of a confidence player. I think when he came in, he looked confident, driving up players, taking players on, getting shots off, crosses into a box, and I just feel like on Saturday he wasn't doing that, whether there's a reason for it or not. He didn't do that. On the right side I'd go Chapman. Obviously Tariq Wright's on international duty. I think it was birthday yesterday as well, so happy birthday. He won't be watching. And then Cook and Oliver up front, so that means no 4-4-2, which is controversial given it's me because I don't like the formation. But having looked at their highlights, I do feel like if you go with a formation like that with players in that system, I feel like if you get at this Wimbledon team, they do crack under pressure. They've conceded some poor goals this season, quite a few errors leading to goals. And I do feel like with Cook in that team, he's going to take the chances if you put quality crosses into a box. So I do feel like if you bombard them with crosses, we'll get at them. And I think that number 10 position, if we don't, if Walker don't come back soon, we're going to struggle in that area because Walker's out for another 6 weeks, I think, and Chapman, it's not his position. It's square pegs in round holes. Again, it seems to be like that every season where we do have that one position. I don't think it happened this season, but obviously we do keep getting injuries. So I think he's much better off the wing. We've seen it when he's playing in number 10. He'll drift out to the wing, and he'll skin a few players, and he does create stuff. So I think he's much better in that position. And I feel like Cook and Oliver's going to be a lethal partnership if they can both get going together. But I do back Cook to keep his form going. So that's the team I'd go with. Obviously I've mentioned Darren Drysdale's going to be the referee, which fills me with less hope going into a game. Hopefully we can make it 5 wins in a row, but with a referee like him, I'm not filled with much confidence. But we've started the season well. Hopefully we can keep the form going, unlike how they have. They'll be looking to turn it round on Saturday. They'll probably take a draw and get out of there live, hopefully. That's what they'll be thinking, like most teams do when they come to Valley Parade. But in recent times, these last few games, we've been scrapping a few wins, which is actually a good thing because we're showing our defensive grit. I don't know what that was. We're showing that we can dig in deep, and we're showing that we can break teams down. And I do feel like we can break this Wimbledon team down if we just put pressure on them. I feel like they'll crumble. So Johnny Jackson's side haven't got off to a good start, and hopefully it remains that way after Saturday. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win. Cook and Banks will score. I think Cook will continue his form, and then Banks will get off. Hopefully he can score again. You know, hopefully we can win. But yeah, I think if you have players like Pereira and Young off the bench, you're always going to create chances. Anyway, let me know your score predictions in the comments down below.